Hey everybody, welcome back to the Full Circle Network. I'm editor-in-chief of FullCircleCinema.com, Jackson Hayes, and we're here to review episode 5 of Titans Season 2, otherwise titled Deathstroke. And today I'll be joined by my lead news writer, Jacob Campbell.
Hey, what's up everybody? It's Jacob. Like Jackson said, I'm the lead news writer, and I get to go second this week instead of last, so you actually get to hear my opinions. I'll pass it over to Marcos.
What's up, guys? Glad to be back this week. Yeah, I mean, look, it's disappointing. Jacob gets first pick, but you know what? We'll have to deal with it this week. Things will be back to normal next week, I'm sure. Colin is also here.
Hi guys, I'm here, and I'm going last because Jacob got really upset last week.
Shut up! You got upset.
Okay, so as anyone who watched the episode knows, because this is going to be a spoiler review, so again, spoilers. This episode picks up right after the events of episode 4, where, actually episode 3. Because episode 4 was a flashback, right? Yes. So episode 3,
you're right.
Where Jason gets stolen by Dr. Light and Deathstroke. So we pick up there.
Like a candy bar.
He gets kidnapped.
Stolen.
He gets stolen. So Jacob, we'll start with you since it's your turn this week for once.
This is crazy.
What were your thoughts on the beginning of the episode?
First, I just want to take a moment to really think about all the things I can actually say, because
that's it for the week, guys. We're good.
I'm going to give you 5 more seconds to start talking, or we're going to.
I thought the episode was great. Well, I don't want to say great. Last week's episode I feel definitely better than this one. This week it was good, but it felt kind of slow at parts. Maybe that's just me. It had some really great moments. The scene with Rose was great. The Deathstroke fight at the end, but overall it just felt like it was just a good episode. It could have been great. I like that we got the most Deathstroke we've had thus far in this episode, which I really liked. And I felt Rose kind of developed a little bit more, which I think I'm not sure I mentioned on the pod last week. We were just talking to you guys, but I felt like Rose hasn't been utilized thus far in the season. She's just kind of been there, but now we actually get to see a little bit more of her and find out some interesting stuff about her. So overall, good episode. Could have been better. Marcus, what did you think?
I'm going to agree with you mostly there. I think that, as you said, some of it's kind of slow. I think that the first 2/3 are definitely slower than the last bit. I think the last 10 minutes make the episode worth it. But I do think that overall the conflict in the episode between the team worked for the most part for me. I liked all the Raven stuff. I liked of course, as you mentioned, the Rose stuff. But yeah, I think my favorite part of the episode, all the Slade with Jason Todd. And as you said, the last 10 minutes. And look, I like the Slade stuff that we got for an episode titled Deathstroke. I wish we got a little bit more. I thought we were gonna go deeper into his origin, but I guess not yet.
Let me interject with you, but before we get to Colin real quick. One thing I was really sort of bummed out about, and I kind of thought about it after the fact, was they released I guess it was a teaser TV spot kind of. Well, they don't do TV spots, but a teaser kind of thing. This week where it was for Slade, and they gave up his monologue that he did during the episode. It was disappointing we didn't get to hear that in context. Like, we already knew what was going to be said when it started, so I was kind of bummed out because that was a really great moment between him and Jason.
Yeah, it took the tension out.
That was kind of the big moment of him, the dialogue wise, at least learning about his character, how he feels about the situation, and they kind of threw it out on a social media post a few days before we got to see the episode. So that was a little bum. That bummed me out a little bit. But so yeah, we'll go to you, Colin, next.
Yeah, I think everything you guys have said so far has been right. It was okay. It was a good episode. It wasn't anything bad. I'd probably say it was the second best of the season, and just things are picking up. And I'll never complain about things picking up with Titans because things never seem to happen. Like Jacob said, Rose did get a little bit more fleshed out. My favorite part was when she got absolutely just destroyed, and her entire body was twisted around.
She was demolished.
Yeah, Raven was quite cool. I liked it.
Raven.
I was in class when I was watching that scene. I was I had my headphones in, and all of a sudden when she crumpled against the thing, I was like, oh my god! And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, okay, so she's actually an interesting character. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, she has her powers.
Yeah. They kind of hinted at it at first, she was the crazy acrobats, but that you didn't really chalk it up to super. You didn't really chalk it up to superpowers, but it's clear no, she went through the same process her father did most likely with the hive stuff that they teased earlier in the season.
She's got hella lit healing.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll jump in with my thoughts on the episode, I guess. So definitely, like you guys said, slow start. There was a few irritating things towards the beginning. The fact that people still don't want to tell each other what happened.
Yeah, it's
is a little annoying. There was one moment where Donna and Starfire were sitting. They were having a drink.
Yeah,
they haven't seen each other since they departed Chicago. They were talking, and then Corey just got there, and she was like, "So, like, Donna, you want to tell me what's going on with Deathstroke? Like, I have no idea what this is." And she's like, "No, not really." And it's like, wait. Like they are telling these kids and telling Starfire, like, we need to go hunt this guy down, he's dangerous, but they won't tell them what happened. And I guess in the context of the story, they want us to wait. They want us to wait.
Dick Grayson
so they
not
show
wanting
us.
to say it just because they
right,
know,
but
like,
Dick was the one who gave up the most. He actually used the name Garth to Starfire later on in the episode.
She didn't even question it. She wasn't like, who's Garth?
No one else will say his name. They won't say his name.
Yeah,
they won't talk about like what happened or where anything in the past, because obviously they're scarred from it. But at this point, they need to be transparent if they're planning to work together as a team and take this guy out.
And I think the fact that they don't want to say anything is because they want to reveal it in like an entire flashback.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They want it's for the audience. It's not for the characters. It's for us.
I'm fine with. Right, I'm fine with that. Just the excuse in the show isn't good enough.
Well, they need to do the dialogue better then, because they're just saying I don't want to talk about it, and that's not a real excuse.
Like Corey in that conversation just gives up everything about what happened with her.
Yeah, she completely just.
She gave everything. She took like a whole minute. She's like, "Alright, guys, so here's the beginning, middle, of end in my story.
This is my entire life.
It's your turn to share."
Look, I am glad she's back.
What happened in this one little section that you guys don't want to talk about?
She was good in this episode. I mean, the fight scene with her was fantastic. It's the best they've ever done with her. They've ever done with that character in this show.
Yeah, it was very
awesome.
And when she showed up, like, I was actually excited. I was like, "Oh, look, like, we finally got this character back, and she's with the team." And I was like, "Oh, this is interesting. Like, they're doing something here." And then she ended up being the one, which was smartly, she's the one that figured out where Dick was going, and he was going to, basically, like, throw himself out and let Deathstroke have his way, like, take him out if he felt like it in that moment, but just to get Jason back. But I thought it was great that they had Starfire, and it wasn't Donna or Dawn or Hank that figured it out, and it was her, because they're supposed to be the duo now, moving forward, and that's why he asked her to take over the team, basically, without her knowing in the moment.
Very exciting.
Yeah, I mean, that was super cool. And I mean, the fight was super cool, of course. I mean, we finally got Deathstroke, and they finally, they actually, like, showed off his skills, and Starfire used her skills, and Dick used his skills, and it was actually a well-choreographed fight, for sure.
Yeah. I half expected during that fight, when all the pipes drop and Dick picks one up, and Slade hits it with his blade, I was half expecting it to split in two. Oh, and do a little tease, but...
I mean, they did it a little bit earlier with the wooden ones, but, like, we're getting closer and closer to actually him using the real sticks, so we need to get there. So I would have liked that, too. But him using the staff was still pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to put it on that. I was just like, that would have been, like a little too...
I mean, but every time this show happens, every time these scenes kind of happen in the show, which has been the last few weeks, like with the Dr. Light fight a couple weeks ago,
right?
And it happened last week, in a good way, they use the suits. These people need to be wearing suits. And they're not, and I get it.
No one half of them.
He rocked up in a little t-shirt.
3 of them don't have suits, but come on.
Donna
at least wear a mask, man, like a bandana.
Yes, dude.
Right, I was talking to Thomas Polito from Geeks Worldwide this week about the episode, and I was talking to him about how he finally Dick put on a bulletproof vest, and that's the farthest they've gone in the show of some kind of, like, strategy these people are using to like take on these bad guys. Like, they're just running at them. Without any thought, and then finally Dick's like, maybe I should put on a bulletproof thing. This guy uses guns, he can shoot me from a mile away. Maybe I should think about this kind of thing.
Yeah. Like Dick really, he rocked up in like a Gildan t-shirt, and that was it. He's like, all right guys, let's go. This is like the best villain we're gonna fight.
So I guess we should talk about Dr. Light getting killed in this episode.
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
That was a good Deathstroke moment. That was a good Deathstroke moment for me.
Yeah.
He was done with him. He was useless, so he was just like, all right, I don't need you anymore. I'm just gonna shoot you in the head, basically.
Quite good.
Yeah, I did not see that coming at all. I thought they would at least keep him around, maybe for like a tease of his team in the comics later on. I can't remember the name.
We've talked about this a bunch. The Fearsome Five.
Fearsome Five.
I mean, it's possible that they use a different iteration of Dr. Light.
Yeah, they could.
Maybe.
They could,
because they've already teased 2 other members, or it could just be an Easter egg thing where they show these other members and talk about them as a complete Easter egg.
Yeah.
I don't know how well a comic book team like the Fearsome Five would translate to modern day 2019, but I mean. Just because they're kind of corny, they're kind of old. I mean, Dr. Light wasn't... I mean, he was a good character, but, like, his suit was ridiculous. His powers are kind of ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, same with Shimmer. Like, it was just kind of, okay. Yeah. Like, it's not that interesting.
Yeah.
But
they could have kept, like, the namesake and maybe some of, like, the main members, like Dr. Light and Shimmer. But, yeah, I mean, it was a great Deathstroke scene overall, though. Like Jackson said.
Right, and that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted.
Don't need him. He's dead.
I wanted Deathstroke moments. I want Deathstroke things. And but that, like I said before, that's why I was so upset that the monologue got put out on social media because that was his best lines from the episode.
Oh yeah.
Was that moment that we finally learned why he's so up. I mean, he didn't say specifically, but like that's his thought. That's his thought process. He's after Dick. He wants Dick. Dick screwed him over with Jericho, which hasn't been revealed yet. Dick screwed him over.
He wants Dick.
Yep. that's
that's what happens when Dick gets hard.
The vinyl, then they looked at a poster. That was definitely all that happened. He didn't do anything to Jericho.
I mean, I'm hoping. I mean, obviously that'll come into play at some point. But maybe Dick just really likes, retro music. Who knows? I mean,
maybe Deathstroke was like really against that as a parent. And
that's
Dick
true. Maybe he's like not. He's not for the. Oh, that's true. He fed into it. He gave him this one album that he wouldn't let him have,
and that's what happened. That's why he hates him. Jericho's fine. That's why he happened. That's the reason why.
Okay, we should talk about the biggest moment in the episode, though, and that's the final scene. Jason Todd.
Oh, they aren't killing Jason.
I mean, he's not that.
Not at
I
all.
think one of the girls going to use her power for once, and it's going to look better.
The fact that it's a cliffhanger means he's not going to die. That's how TV shows work. That's how serialized television works. If it's a cliffhanger, they're not going to open the next episode with him hitting a car.
You don't have a death.
I mean, I'd be more than okay with that.
Can we be real?
That's fucking sweet. If they just dropped him.
That
into
would
the
be
car.
so funny.
Okay, is the next episode titled Jericho, right?
No. Next episode has nothing to do with the main storyline again. And it's going to be about Superboy.
You love to see that.
Oh, yeah.
You love to see that. I
That'll
knew they
be
weren't.
good.
I remember they weren't doing like a main episode next.
Yeah.
Right, and it makes sense. Listen, like we were just talking about, like television, they want to have you on the hook. So making you wait another week possibly for a resolution to that cliffhanger, it's going to be, it's going to be a big deal. But I mean, I'm ready to get Superboy. I mean, I'm super interested in finally, moving on and getting this character that they teased at the end of the season, season 1. But I feel like I'm gonna get a little irritated if we don't get a mention of Jason, just because at that point we'll know he's alive. They're not gonna wait 2 episodes to kill him. That's just
I honestly
ridiculous.
Care so little about this cliffhanger that I'm okay if this next episode is all Superboy, and then if the next episode was a flashback, I wouldn't care at all.
I mean, because we know, not that it was poorly executed. It's just that it's cliche. It's a really cliche clip.
And it would have been better if it was
Tim
Drake. Because, if you have Jason Todd, they're not going to not do... he's going to die by a crowbar by the Joker. If Jason Todd's going to die...
Death in the family, they're going to kill him somehow, eventually. Yeah. But this isn't how you do it. That's easy to figure out.
The best character in the second season.
No, and you don't have him fall off a building. If Deathstroke was going to kill him, he would have stabbed him through the heart. He would have shot him. He would have done something like that.
Yeah, you don't do deaths in between episodes. You don't put it as a cliffhanger. You show the death.
No, you don't. And I mean,
it's a moment. But yeah, he's not dead.
No, he's not dead, and he's definitely. Yeah. I mean, Donna will catch him. That was my first instinct as well. Starfire could dive. I thought for a second Dick was going to dive off the building. I was like, oh, that'd been a good, cool, heroic moment. But no,
he just dies too.
He's not that cool.
It's the ground.
Okay.
I've got you. Splat.
Jason also has a cape, which he uses to glide around the city. Why would he not just do that?
I mean, look, maybe
really
he uses it at the end. Like, I hope it's just Wonder Girl or something, and it looks cool, and she jumps in the air and some shit. That'll be nice.
I feel like it's gonna be Starfire, because there were rumors that Starfire's gonna fly this season, and that's my.
Well, there was also rumors that Dove was gonna fly.
That Dove, yeah,
but
maybe she's gonna fall from a higher building this time.
The budget isn't ready for that episode.
Yeah, they need to get ready. They have Superboy. They need to get some stuff going.
Raven literally has wings, so she could do it.
Yeah,
I will say her powers look very cool. I think they look great.
They do look really good.
Let's talk about this. During the last fight scene, right? There was this really weird moment, right before they leave to go find Deathstroke, where they leave Raven and Beast Boy to guard Ravager. Fair enough. She's who he wants. It could be a trap.
Yeah.
They use this moment to let him transform into a tiger, and he's just laying next to her bed, which was clearly one they've already used before. So they just put the same. They didn't have him change into something new.
Yeah.
But I thought that was really weird and out of place because he never gets to transform. Why don't you take him on this mission? Why don't you have Hank or Dawn stay behind, because they can just sit there and do nothing? They're already going to do nothing because they're just people. Beast Boy's actually useful.
I think it's in the sense that Dick knew what he was trying to do, and Dick's the one who plans it all, and so he just didn't really care to
Yeah, well,
I don't think he was going for a victory there besides him dying.
I guess,
here's
but
why.
Look, you don't know what he's going to do with Jason. So
I mean, yeah, he could still kill you and then still
you can have the
Jason.
contingency plan, right? You need that kind of contingency plan, and he's just not going to take the guy who can turn into literally any animal.
It's an obvious reason, and I feel like we're overlooking it. If Beast Boy went, they would have to explain what happened in the past, and they just can't do that.
Beast Boy went.
They have to tell him.
They would have to bring Raven.
Deathstroke would start talking and be like,
"You
know what you did." And
he's by far the most underutilized.
Ryan Potter is so good. And
twice in this episode,
he was really good this episode.
Twice in this,
the few scenes he had.
No, but here's the problem with his 2 scenes. He's a fine actor. He's very well done in the show. Both of his scenes, like his big scenes, were used to further other people's plots.
Yeah,
Ravens
so
and Roses. It was those moments were for both of them and not him. He
turned
doesn't
into
get
2
anything
animals
to do.
this season.
Look, half the time
one of them
it's
is
like
the same one.
The writers know what they're doing with this series, and half the time they have no idea what the fuck they're doing.
Like,
and with Beast Boy, he falls on the latter half. They don't know what they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's a bummer because I was really excited to get Ryan Potter. I mean, he's a huge DC fan. He's always lobbying for roles to get him in a Beast Boy role, which is a fan favorite character for a long time for a lot of people. And he isn't doing anything. He never transforms. He never gets to use his powers. All he did was murder a guy last season as a tiger again, because that's all he ever turns into is a tiger. The one time he turned into a snake. But it's such a bummer that he's arguably next to Donna, the most powerful, and Starfire, like the most powerful person on the team, just because Raven's such a
it's
control her
just
powers.
one of those things. I hope. Apparently he has like a relationship with Connor in the rest of the season. I hope that it's not just
cool. But we're
5
5 episodes in.
Yeah, I need stuff for
like we're creeping up to halfway there. Like we're almost halfway through the season, and it's like he hasn't done anything.
What 12, 13 episodes?
Right, there's
13
and
episodes.
so we're almost halfway there, and he's done nothing, and it's a bummer.
It's kind of annoying.
But hey, he's done nothing well. Okay.
And I mean, it's such a show that they have to spread it around. Raven's getting another subplot this season. Starfire has a subplot this season. Hank has a subplot this season. Donna has a subplot. Dick has a subplot.
At least it's 13 episodes, so there's time. I think
that's not. I mean, my problem isn't the subplot. It's just there's so many mouths to feed, and it cannot go around. This is like
especially
a Kirk Cousins-led offense. You know what I mean? Kirk Cousins can't throw the ball to everybody, right?
He can't throw to anybody.
So Adam Thielen is mad, right? And so then Kirk says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Here, Adam, I'll give you the ball." And then on the other side, Stephon Diggs says, "Hey, I want the ball too." And now he's mad. And now he's demanding a trade.
This is a nerd podcast.
Do you think
podcast.
Dick is following Dr. Light on Instagram?
I think Dick is Kirk Cousins, and he is bad at what he's supposed to be doing.
Next week's gonna be a great episode.
Jason
podcast.
Jason is following Batman now.
Right.
Jason is following the truck he's going to land on.
To Gotham, to the Gotham team. That's what happened.
I heard that Jason Todd just followed Gravity and the car he's going to land on in the next episode.
Okay. Any other thoughts on the episode before we kind of wrap it up and discuss what we might want to expect next week?
No.
Yeah,
nope. Okay.
For this week.
Jesus, guys.
I mean,
get
for the
2 more
episode,
seconds of awkward silence ready?
So.
Go.
More dead air.
I'll say next week should be good because the writer talked about it on Twitter, and he looks like he had a lot of free reign, so it's probably going to be pretty self-contained episodes. So no ties. So it's just going to be about Connor, which is going to be cool. So I'm very hyped.
I hope he's shirtless throughout the entire episode, and at the very end he sees the Superman shirt.
I hope he's just
that
around
is
the city,
that is such a
popping around
Titans
corners
thing to
with
do.
A dog.
Honestly,
and he doesn't put it on in the episode; he just sees it, and it cuts to the shirt, it cuts back to his face, it cuts back to the shirt. Dark.
So last week, someone commented. I have the comment here.
Oh, got some comments.
So Dave 175. I commented. This is about last week for Aqualad, but I think it's just overall for the season. He said, really hope this isn't like last season where every other episode is a detour from the main plot. Well, next
Well, sorry,
week
buddy.
well, got news for you.
Bad news here. But yeah.
When are we going to get the Raven as a child?
Too. It's
back to every episode. That's what I really want. And I know Jeff Johns.
We need a full Raven. Yeah, we need a Raven episode.
No more Raven.
Solo episode.
I don't need any more Raven episodes.
I don't really think the show's really dove into Raven's backstory.
Here's the problem.
She needs more lore overall.
Her character it's underdeveloped.
It really is.
I think you guys are loons, and I don't think I would be fine if Raven never showed up in the show again. But obviously, that's not where we're going.
Whoa, dude, whoa! But we have to find out why she's edgy.
She can't control her powers, bro. Come on.
Oh my god! Nobody can control their powers. Okay.
There's never been a story like this before. The hero can't control their powers. This has never been done before in the history of television.
I don't know how they're gonna handle it. How do
you
progress?
It's gonna be crazy.
How does she handle her powers now?
How does she become a hero when she has this darkness inside of her?
Since her dad gave her the thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you just describe the plot of Arrow?
Which
I hope
Raven
always has
Raven
sleeves. I hope
genuinely
she
doesn't
always
have a heart.
has sleeves.
Never take the goddamn sleeves off, Raven. I swear to God.
That would be
if you walk
so
around
funny.
and fight crime without sleeves, I'm going to lose my mind.
She's got the hood on too. Oh my god.
With a bow.
She's got the robe with a hood but no sleeves. Honestly, that's
God.
a tight fit.
I'd watch that show.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
so we learned, Jackson and I learned something recently, like when I'm saying recently, a few minutes ago. I guess
You're not going to reveal this on the show.
bro.
Go
Okay,
for it.
if they watched it, right, and they can say the word that we say. They can comment the word if they watched the entire episode here.
Oh, Lord, Marcos.
Dave
Why not?
17532, this is for you.
Yep, this is just for you. Comment Caldor. That's it.
That's the word.
That's
That
the
was
comment.
horrible. Okay, we're wrapping up the show now. You clout monster. Okay,
No.
Did you really just clout tease on our podcast?
the zero
Yeah,
people
man.
that are listening 20 minutes into the episode.
Wow.
You don't understand all the comments still be the same tall.
Let me wrap up the show,
Yeah,
Marcos.
all one comment is gonna freak out.
Hey, we're making
Jackson,
good
why
time.
wrap up the show when we can end it on a cliffhanger?
Ooh,
That's right.
can we do
Can
that?
we do that?
I don't play that game. No, we wrap up the show. Okay,
All right,
fine.
guys, we'll see you next.
Do you not want to plug your social medias? Is that the cliffhanger?
Follow us on Twitter at
Full Circle Center.
Dun dun dun.
Coming at you,
All
Jeff
right,
Johns. Give us a better TV show.
We seen it, yeah, with Stargirl.
They did. It's called Doom Patrol.
Did give us Doom Patrol.
And
Alright.
one season of Swamp Thing.
Well, he didn't have
Total
anything with
soup.
that one.
Okay, Marcos, where can they
Follow
find
me
you on
on,
social media?
on
Jesus
Twitter
Christ,
at
what a
mess.
BizGamer9. You follow Jacob at Jacob Camp 13. You follow Colin at Colin Stetson. You follow Jackson. That doesn't matter. And hope to see you next week.
You can find us in the swamp eating turtle soup.
Marcos, that's not fair.
Turtle
You guys can
soup.
follow Jackson at Jack.
Dun 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 dun.
Done.